Pastor Sarah Omako says naming your father or brother as next of kin is a foolish thing. Okay? I don't think there's anybody that has ever made their father their next of kin. Maybe their brother, I don't know. If you're like the firstborn and you have a baby brother or something, you can actually name them your first of kin, probably before you get married, and then you start having kids, and then you change your next of kin to your children. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody that makes their father their next of kin. For where you see that one? Pastor Sarah Omako addressed a congregation on marriage, family dynamics, and financial wisdom. Pastor Sarah Omako warned men against naming their brothers or fathers as next of kin. She said a spouse and children should be prioritized after marriage, not parents or siblings. Well, every sensible person knows that it is your children that are your next of kin. Most of the time, when you are still growing and you've not gotten married, you make your siblings your next of kin, not your parents. And then when you get married and you start having kids, you can make your wife or your children your next of kin, or your husband or your children as your next of kin. I don't think anybody has ever made their father next of kin. From Lola M. Onoloja clarified that naming a next of kin does not automatically grant inheritance right. Exactly. Next of kin is like somebody that they can easily call, probably when you have issues or anything. It does not mean that, when you buy, your property will automatically go to that person. A statement by Sarah Omako has sparked widespread conversation online after the founder and senior pastor of Family Worship Center declared that married people should not name their parents or siblings as next of kin. I don't think anybody does that. I don't think. Maybe she has seen somebody that did it. That is why she is using it to preach, because I don't think I have seen anybody that makes their family next of kin after they got married. I don't think so. Insisting that a spouse should be given that role. In a video circulating on social media, Marco addressed men directly, warning them against naming their brothers or fathers as next of kin, particularly in official records such as employment or financial documents. Men, you don't put your brother or your father as your next of kin. She said, your brother is not going to take care of your children. He will take care of his children before your children. The pastor went further to describe the practice as unwise, saying, it's a foolish thing to put your brother and say, but they are my people. No. Your people are your wife and your children first, yes? They are your next of kin, not your mother, not your father, not your brother. Omako also extended the same instruction to women, stating that the husband should be the next of kin for a married woman rather than her sister or her family members. According to her, married couples should avoid listing multiple people as next of kin and instead choose one person, specifically their spouse. Don't put two people's name on the thing. She said, put only your wife's name. That is the will of God. Any other thing is outside the mind of God. The remarks have generated mixed reactions online, with many Nigerians debating the pastor's interpretation to family responsibility and the legal meaning of next of kin. Some social media users agreed with her position, arguing that a spouse and children should naturally be prioritized after marriage. Exactly. It should be. Nobody tells anybody that one. It's common sense. Others, however, pointed out that the term next of kin is often misunderstood and may not automatically determine who inherits a person's assets after death. Yes. From a legal perspective, there is no universal rule that a married person must name their spouse as their next of kin. According to Funmilola M. Onoloja Esquire, a transactional and advisory lawyer at Mondial Solicitor, the appropriate choice depends on the purpose for which the information is being requested and any applicable legal or contractual requirements. She explained that the next of kin is not the same as their legal heir or beneficiary to person's property. In many cases, the next of kin may not even have access to the person's assets or inherit anything simply because their name appears in that position. The position of next of kin primarily serves as a point of contact, yes, or emergency. Yes, I know that's what it is. Who can be consulted in certain circumstances, such as during emergencies or other administrative matters, Onoloja said. The position of next of kin simply means who can I reach out to when I cannot reach you. It does not by itself transfer inheritance rights. Onoloja noted that while it is generally advisable for many married individuals to name their spouse as next of kin, since a spouse is often the closest family member and directly involved in decisions affecting the individual's welfare and home. There may be legitimate reason for naming another person, such as a parent, adult, child, or sibling. She emphasized that the most important consideration is that the choice aligns with the purpose of the document and the individual's intention. Where the objective is to determine who should inherit property or receive benefit upon death, that should be addressed through a valid will. Yes, you have to write a will, beneficiary nomination, or other appropriate legal instruments, not merely by naming someone as next of kin, she added. This legal clarification has added another layer to the online debate, as many Nigerians will consider the common assumption that naming a next of kin automatically determines who inherits a person's property. Despite the differing opinion, Marco's comments have once again brought the sensitive topic of family, marriage, and financial planning into public discussions, with many Nigerians reflecting on who they have listed as their next of kin and why. One person said, Madam, I would have agreed with you if this present generational women we call wives were to be like the Sarahs, but unfortunately we have witnessed where wife buys their husband just because of property. And husbands too buy their wife because of property. It's not just one side. Some women are the breadwinners of their family and their husband will buy them because of property. Well, to be like Sarah, but unfortunately we've seen and heard. I beg. But I have read many comments before writing this piece. None of the comments address the lawyer's assertion, but what has been the Nigerians' understanding about the NOK. As far as Nigerians are concerned, the lawyer's assertion comes to play when controversy ensues. Apart from that, you can see that almost no one mentioned the lawyer's perspective in the administration of the NOK within the family circle. Our lawyers have to help us to sensitize the public, even to the grassroots, about this, or else the understanding will remain the same. Smart Lawrence says anyone who uses wife as next of kin is more foolish than Adam. When next women know you use them for next of kin, they will buy you, and all your properties belong to her and her family. Also, avoid court marriage. See this one. A person go marry this one. No. They should avoid court marriage. If you are not going to do court marriage, then go and marry your sibling. You are foolish. You just said that they said next of kin does not automatically mean that the person will inherit your property. It's only if you write it in your will that this person should take my property. That is when they will take your property. Which one be they will buy you and then they will take your property, and they should also avoid court marriage. And your name is smart. You are not smart. You are not smart at all. I beg. David said when women used to be women, they were priority of a Nigerian man, but not now that they are hyenas. They are not. Children and trusted close family, and now not women. Now, Sabi. Well, my listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.